Donald Trump has dropped his campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski. Lewandowski was with Trump from the beginning of the campaign, but repeatedly made waves by clashing with reporters and other campaign officials. CBSN political contributor and Republican strategist Leslie Sanchez is in Los Angeles, not here with me today as she always is. Good to see you in L.A., Leslie.
Likewise, Vlad.
So does this signal trouble in Trump's camp, removing your campaign manager in June with less than 150 days until the election?
Actually, it's a positive sign, and I'll tell you why. This is not unusual for presidential campaigns to make structural and internal changes when either the poll numbers dip or there's a conflict, an internal struggle within a campaign that needs to be resolved. We have been hearing, not only from sources, but a lot of reporting, that it's been extremely difficult to know which side. There were two basically heads within the Trump campaign, Paul Manafort, Corey Lewandowski, and a lot of the people who are trying to support Trump have said it feels like White House apprentice. You've got two rival teams competing with each other, and nobody really knows where their footing is day by day. This is going to resolve that. I've talked to several folks, and they're actually breathing a sigh of relief because they want to see one leader emerge who can give direction to the Trump campaign.
What are you hearing, Leslie, about who made the decision, the decision to get rid of Corey Lewandowski? There are reports that it may have been his children. There are other reports that Mr. Lewandowski clashed with other campaign staffers, including Hope Hicks, who's the communications director. What are you getting from the inside?
I think there's a lot of the above. This is one of those you could check all the boxes. We'll take answer D on this one. There's no doubt, and he may be the scapegoat for these failing polling numbers. It may be that you have continued anxiety among Republican establishment folks who raise the money, the party elites, the grass tops folks who want to see a solidified message that does not get distracted with kind of these brass tacks that worked extremely well in the primary and knocked out all the other contenders, but are not working at unifying a larger tent party. You need 60+ million people to come together in November and vote for the Republican nominee. So they're feeling a lot of hesitation, anxiety, especially down ballot. And the longer the campaign was internally struggling, the more you were hearing a lot of these leaks that something needed to be done. So I think in that sense, it's probably a very good sign. And we're going to see if there can be some direction, especially getting to convention in less than a month.
All right. So this is coming as the Trump campaign is scheduled to meet with advisors to reassess the strategy going forward. But this is the question we've been asking you. We've been talking to you about this. We've been talking to others about this. And each time it comes back, well, if Mr. Trump can get on message, if he can, stop going off the rails, if he can stop saying things that are inflammatory, in other words, be a more traditional candidate, then they've got a shot. But it doesn't, every time we have this discussion, Donald Trump holds a rally and then he says something else inflammatory. So, I mean, we know what he needs to do to turn it around. He just hasn't been willing to do it.
That's very true. Let's think about Corey Lewandowski's strategy. Let Trump be Trump. And Trump stood by him through a lot of the heated conversation. But you can't deny you have a very contentious last 2 weeks that took a lot of capital out of the Trump campaign, a lot out of the Republican National Committee, and certainly a lot out of the leadership that's been trying to support him, looking at Speaker Ryan, and everybody off talking about a judge and, a private a legal suit that Trump has versus talking about message and taking on the Democratic establishment in November. So there needs to be some message structure. We've known that for a really long time, and that's hopefully what this will do. You're right. I think what we can predict is Trump is going to continue to be Trump. I think we can't predict he's going to use more teleprompters to keep from getting distracted, and off on tangents that don't help the party. The question is the money, are the money folks going to come back to the table? Are people going to start to breathe a sigh of relief that they can consistently have a safe spot to call the Republican Party and move forward to challenge Hillary Clinton? And can he build within his organization a strategy? And I think that's going to fall on the shoulders of Paul Manafort, now the new head of the committee.
Even if he's able to build that strategy, Leslie, there are signs that he continues to struggle in the polls. There's a new Monmouth poll out today that shows Trump is trailing Hillary Clinton by 7%. We just had Kevin Sheridan, who used to be a campaign advisor to Paul Ryan, who I'm sure you know very well, and he pointed out at the end of our discussion that he doesn't think that the Republican Party can unify. Is that your assessment as well?
I will tell you, just coming back from the Romney Summit last weekend, there is a very strong very influential group of Republicans who are mostly economic conservatives, who are looking at alternatives. There was a case made for, do Republicans need to support Hillary Clinton? They don't want to talk about that, but there was a case made there. What would the situation be for the markets? I will tell you, what people fundamentally want, especially folks sitting on the fences, are predictability, and that is not anything you have in this case. So the fissures within the Republican Party are very real. And in terms of bringing people together, especially a lot of independent conservative women, ethnic minorities, you have many who have said never Trump under any circumstances, and certainly money folks who refuse to put any money in the Republican coffers as long as he's the nominee. These are really big challenges for the party. It is going to shake up. It's really imperative now to have some leadership that can stabilize what is really an unstable campaign.
All right, we'll have to see how it goes down. Leslie Sanchez in LA today for us. Appreciate it, Leslie.
Thank you.